Welcome to another story made by Oracle 1. Series name, The Last Duelist. Episode 2, Blood for Glory. The third time he almost died, he realized the arena was learning him faster than he was learning himself. The opponent didn't rush this time. It circled, slow, measured, watching the way he breathed, the way his weight shifted, the subtle delay between instinct and execution. It knew. Of course it knew. The arena always knew. Steel rang again, louder, sharper than before, and the impact nearly tore the blade from his hand. He staggered, boots digging into the black sand as pain flared across his ribs. He blocked, barely, but the delay was there again. That fraction of a second. That missing piece. The opponent exploited it instantly. A low cut. He moved, too slow. The blade grazed his thigh. And something vanished. He dropped to one knee. Not from pain. From absence. "What did I just lose?" he whispered, his voice hollow. He searched for it instinctively. A memory. A feeling. A name. Nothing. Just another empty space. The ghost's voice echoed lazily through the arena. "You're unraveling." The man forced himself back to his feet, gripping his sword tighter. "I'm still standing. For now." The opponent lunged again. Faster this time. Relentless. The man moved. No, reacted. His body remembering what his mind could not. Step. Turn. Parry. The rhythm returned for a moment. A dangerous illusion of control. Then, a flicker. A hesitation. Another strike slipped through. Another loss. He staggered again. His breath came out uneven. Something was wrong. Not just the missing pieces. But what remained. His thoughts felt thinner. Simpler. Like a blade being sharpened by grinding away everything unnecessary. Everything human. No, he muttered. He couldn't lose that too. Not whatever was left of him. The opponent raised its sword for the final blow. The man's vision blurred. Time slowed. And then, a voice cut through everything. Left. Sharp. Urgent. Familiar. He didn't think. He moved. Stepped inside the swing. Twisted. His blade drove forward, clean. Precise. Through the opponent's chest. Silence. Then, dust. The man stood there, frozen. Breathing hard. Alive. Again. But that wasn't what mattered. "You," he said quietly. The word felt strange on his tongue. Like something he hadn't used in a long time. He turned slowly, scanning the arena. "Who said that?" The ghost tilted its head. "I heard nothing." The man's grip tightened. "I did." High above. The girl stepped back from the edge. Heart racing. "He heard me," she whispered. For the first time, hope flickered. Below, the sand shifted again. Another opponent began to rise. Stronger. Faster. Always escalating. The man exhaled slowly. "I don't have time for this," he muttered. "Correct," the ghost said. "You don't." The next fight was worse. Every movement cost something now. Every mistake carved him down further. But the voice came again. "Behind you. Now, duck. Don't block. Move." Each warning came just in time. Each one saved him. Again. And again. And again. Between strikes, between breaths, he spoke. "Why are you helping me?" he demanded under his breath. A pause. Then, "Because you promised." The words hit him harder than any blade. Promised? To who? When? Why couldn't he remember? "What did I promise?" he asked. Silence. Then, softer, "To come back." The fight dragged on. Longer than the others. Harder. More brutal. By the time he drove his blade through the opponent's throat, he was barely standing. Blood soaked his clothes. His vision swam. And inside, there were more holes now. More missing pieces. He didn't know how many. Didn't know what they were. Only that they mattered. The bell rang. Victory. Again. But it didn't feel like winning. "Interesting," the ghost said, stepping closer. "You're lasting longer than expected." The man didn't respond. He was staring at his sword. at the name carved into it. Still unfamiliar. Still wrong. Tell me, the ghost continued, circling him. What drives you now? The man frowned. I don't know. Exactly. The ghost smiled. Most break when they lose what matters. A pause. You're still fighting. The man looked up. Then I guess it wasn't important. The ghost's smile widened. Or, it said softly, it was everything. The sand trembled. Another opponent began to rise, but stopped. Mid-formation. The arena flickered. The crowd shifted uneasily. Something had changed. The ghost's expression darkened slightly. How? Curious. A crack appeared in the air. Not in the ground. Not in a mirror. In the space itself. Thin. Sharp. Unnatural. And through it, she stepped. The girl landed hard on the black sand, stumbling forward before catching herself. She looked smaller here. Fragile. But her eyes were fierce. Locked on him. Found you, she said, breathless. The man stared. Something in his chest tightened. Not a memory. But something close. You, he said. The word came easier this time. The ghost watched with interest. Well now, it murmured. This is new. The girl walked toward him slowly. Carefully. As if he might disappear if she moved too fast. You look worse, she said, her voice trembling despite her attempt to sound steady. He frowned. Do I know you? The question hit her like a blade. But she didn't look away. You used to. The silence stretched. The arena held its breath. Then tell me, he said. Tell me who you are. She stopped a few steps away. Close enough to see every cut, every bruise, every missing piece written across his face. Her hands clenched. Her voice broke, just slightly. My name is Kale. A pause. And I'm your sister. The world didn't react. The arena didn't shake. The ghost didn't interrupt. But inside him, something shifted. Not a memory. Not recognition. But resistance. Like a locked door rattling under pressure. That's not possible, he said. It felt like the right answer. Safe. Simple. Wrong. She shook her head. I knew you'd say that. She reached into her sleeve and pulled something out. A small object. Worn. Familiar. She held it out. You gave this to me, she said softly. For when you came back. He hesitated. Then took it. The moment his fingers touched it, the world cracked. A flash. A fragment. A memory, not whole. Not clear. But enough. Laughter. A field. Two children running. A voice. Don't lose it, okay? I won't, I promise. He staggered back. The object fell from his hand. His breath came fast. What was that? Kale's eyes filled with tears. You remember, she whispered. Just a little. He looked at her. Really looked. And for a split second, he saw it. Not her face. But the feeling of her. Familiar. Important. Dangerous to lose. The ghost clapped slowly. Well, it said, its voice laced with something new. Interest. This changes things. The arena trembled. The sand shifted violently. The next opponent rose, larger than any before. Faster. More lethal. And now, the ghost continued, smiling wider than ever. We raise the stakes. Kale turned sharply. No, stop this. You shouldn't be here, the ghost said calmly. But since you are, it looked at the man. Let's see what you're willing to lose now. The massive opponent stepped forward. Its blade screamed as it cut through the air. The man didn't move. He was still looking at Kale. At the faint, fragile thread connecting them. If he lost again, if that thread broke, he wouldn't even know what he'd lost. Hey, Kale said, her voice shaking. Look at me. He did. You promised, she whispered. The words hit harder this time. Deeper. I'll remind you, she continued. Every time. As long as I'm here. A beat. So don't you dare forget me again. The opponent charged. The arena roared in silence. The ghost watched, smiling. And the man raised his blade. Not for survival. Not for pride. But for something he couldn't fully remember. yet refused to lose. For more stories, like and subscribe.